I think we'll just go ahead and get started. Okay, hi. Welcome to the first Add-ons community meeting for 2019. Hey, Mike, good morning. Welcome back, everyone. We're back in full swing. Yeah, we were just sharing a little bit about our holidays. Sounds like there were a lot of parties. So now we're slowly back into we're just getting slowly back into the swing of things. So I just wanted to start off today by recognizing a couple friend of add-ons. First and foremost, I wanted to thank RCT Gamer 3. Over the holidays, RCT Gamer 3 was able to find and file blocklist requests for a couple of malicious extensions out there. I think he found like 5 of them. So we're really grateful for his vigilance and helping keep our users safe. So thank you so much, RCT Gamer 3. I also wanted to read out from Christophe that there was the French community, he and Pierre Mazanet. So it was like an advent calendar with a new add-on each day. I thought it was really cute, so you can check out a link there. And on the topic of cool things that the community has been up to recently, the Mozilla India community has also been celebrating Privacy Month by how to increase your privacy and security online, including links to our passwords collection or things that help improve privacy and security in Firefox using add-ons. So I'll go hunt down a link for that tweet and for some of those tweets, and I'll add that to the document, but it's pretty cool. So thanks y'all. All right, and now we're moving into a couple of updates. So we started the lightweight theme migration last week. So this is a technical back-end migration where lightweight themes are getting converted into static themes. On AMO, nothing else should change, no action necessary on the authors. It looks like that is going live tomorrow. Is that right, Jorge?
No, I think it's going to be run next week.
Oh, okay, it's going to be run okay. So we can thank Andrew Williamson for working on this even when he was sick and having some fevered dreams about migration. Sorry, Andrew, I hope you're feeling better and taking care of yourself. So we do know that in the time being, there's an issue with themes appearing in collections. So I think the deal is that static themes are no longer appearing in collections. Sorry, I might have misunderstood that. Jorge, you want to speak to that?
No, so there was a bug that we found. So when running the migration in Stage, we found out that collections would lose the lightweight themes because they were basically new themes were being created for the aesthetic theme equivalent.
Okay.
That was fixed. So once the migration runs, they should stay in the collection after being transformed.
Okay. Okay, cool. So that's just something to keep a heads up about. So if you see anything weird happening with themes, feel free to ping us and we'll take a look. Otherwise, I think it should be running pretty smoothly. Oh, and by the way, this only affects lightweight themes. This does not affect dynamic themes at all. So if your theme appears under the extensions tab in your add-on and your developer hub, don't worry about this. It's not tab. The other thing that I wanted to just give a quick shout out to is we're looking for building out some more documentation about intermediate examples of web extensions APIs. So we posted something to Discourse last week soliciting input. So extensions APIs, we've heard a lot of feedback that this kind of covers the very basics, but doesn't really get into any more advanced cases. So we're hoping to build that out a little bit more. And we're interested in seeing what information would be helpful to you, or if you mentor a lot of people who are making the leap between going from the basic, here's what this API is, and here's a very basic use case to, okay, now I actually want to implement this into something a little bit more complex. We'd like to hear from you about that. We're collecting that into a document, and we're going to be taking that to our documentation writer so we can start building some of that stuff out. We're also interested in any code examples that you would be willing to share. So if you have extension code that's a little bit more complex and you've got an open source license on it and you would be willing to share it for other people to take a look at, we would certainly welcome that as well. Mike, do you have anything else you'd like to add about our intermediate example build out?
I just want to build on the last comment you made, which is if you are an extension author or you know an extension author who's releasing a fairly mature extension under an open source license, those would be good candidates to turn into online tutorials for our documentation team as an example of a medium complexity web extension. As Caitlin said, a lot of our example extensions are very basic. They demonstrate just the primitives of the API and how they work, but combining a dozen, 2 dozen of the API into a full-fledged, really mature, powerful extension. We don't have really anything like that. And finding some open source examples of extensions that already do this and somebody who'd be willing to turn that over to our documentation writer. And then we would use that as an online tutorial, maybe in a 2, 3, 4-part series of, here's how it's formatted, here's the architecture, here's why it's using these API, here's how the APIs communicate with each other. Extension authors a little bit more meat to chew on and see how they can develop even more complex and creative extensions. And what we offer is just our primitive low-level samples.
Definitely. Yes, that would be super great. The last kind of just like public service announcement that I wanted to make is we've gotten a couple of requests from folks who are interested in Google Summer of Code for 2019. And just want to say that we don't have any projects right now that are good candidates for GSOC interns on add-ons for 2019. So no projects on AMO and no projects on the Web Extensions API. So thanks so much for thinking of us and wanting to contribute. We would still love to have you contribute, just not under GSOC. Mozilla is maintaining a list of GSOC proposals. So I'll throw a link to that list in the agenda. If you're interested in doing GSOC at Mozilla specifically, this is a good list to check out. And there's links to some of those projects if you want to go ahead and start contributing to get a feel for the code base. Yeah. So those are my super quick updates. Does anyone else have anything they would like to share?
Yeah, regarding the example you're asking for web extensions, I think you posted a discourse thread on this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll comment on this. I can send my my SQDC extension code in there, which is on GitHub. And actually, there's some stuff that could be improved there. And it uses some a lot of APIs all mixed up together to grab information from other web servers. It used the notification API. It used the local storage, stuff like that. So it could be interesting.
That'd be fantastic, Sylvan. Thank you.
Okay, I'll do this.
That would be great. Actually, I'm kind of curious. So something that someone that a contributor suggested was some. And when I took a cursory glance at MDN, it seemed like there was some good stuff there, but just from folks who have kind of interacted with the MDN docs, what are your thoughts on the current native messaging documentation? Is that something that you would think is a good candidate to be improved?
For me personally, I didn't use native messaging with web extension yet. A little bit on Chrome, but not on Firefox. So
okay. Okay. Cool.
I think the tricky part with native messaging is it depends on having a native application to talk to. And certainly we don't provide that, and everybody's is going to be different and act differently. So it's a little harder to provide a generic example, but yeah, we should think about ways maybe we can make it a little bit easier.
Got it. Okay, that makes a ton of sense. For sure. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so we're gonna continue moving forward. We'll be able to share a little bit more about the roadmap for 2019 soon. Asa Dolzer, who is one of the product managers on Firefox, he's right now compiling kind of like an overview of the Firefox roadmap for 2019. So that right now is getting some feedback, and as soon as that's available to be shared, we'll be sure to share it with y'all. Yeah. Until then, it's awesome to see everybody. We're having a add-on show and tell tomorrow. So if you're working on something super cool, or if you're working on something that you would just like to share with other folks, please bring it to show and tell. We'd love to see it.
Thanks, Caitlin.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
See ya.